because I've been on both sides of the fence.
Hold on.
You've been
Listen
on
to
both sides of the fence.
You're wrong. Russo'sBrand.com, where the pros are the pros.
Well, at the recent scrum, Tony Khan was asked about Scorpio Sky because Scorpio Sky had talked about how he hadn't been on TV for over a year. I think his last match was actually 2023, and he revealed that he is healthy. He's just simply waiting for his turn. So somebody asked Tony Khan about this during the Double or Nothing scrum, and Tony said, I like Scorpio Sky. It's interesting. Scorpio Sky's name came up recently, and he mentioned that he's looking to come back, and I had talks with Scorpio Sky about different ideas and things we could do. It's probably in greater detail. Scorpio Sky is somebody who's been here from day one. I have a lot of respect for him. I saw what he said, and I actually had talked to Scorpio Sky about doing something, and we ended up going in a different direction. It's kind of a long story, but it would make a lot of sense in context. I had an idea for Scorpio Sky that I think is a good idea. We talked about it, but I think it didn't work out for reasons between us. But it's also a legit thing, and I'm fine with it. And I'd like to use him for a different idea when the time is right. And Scorpio Sky's girlfriend had tweeted and now deleted, a situation where a contract is being held hostage is unethical, as it is being used as leverage to prevent the party from seeking work elsewhere. To clarify, multiple times a release has been asked for and has been denied.
I swear, Al, that is such bullshit coming out of Tony Khan's mouth. If you've got somebody under contract, you use them. If you're not going to use them, then they should not be under contract. You got the guy on the contract. You're paying the guy until the time is right. Yeah. I mean, Al, am I right or wrong? This is dollars and cents, Al.
To a point, I agree. There are circumstances or situations, but in that circumstance and in that situation, a conversation would have occurred that would have prevented any of all this mismatch. And quite honestly, I couldn't understand. Like when you recited that quote that Tony Khan made, Jeff, I was like, it was like watching a ball bounce around a box.
Well, what I got out of it, this is what it sounds like, and maybe I'm interpreting it wrong. It sounds like he pitched an idea. Scorpio Sky said no. And then, so, okay, go back home and I'll continue to pay you to sit home. I mean, that's what it sounds like to me anyway.
I think you're right. I think he pitched an idea. Scorpio didn't feel comfortable doing it or didn't like it or didn't think that, it was what he had pictured in his mind as far as his return to do. That happens a lot. And, he was like, well, I'll go back home. But I agree with you, Vince, in that it is dollars and cents. And unless it's somebody that has a tremendous upside, then yeah, you know what? Let them go. Release them. Look, kid, I don't have anything for you. Scorpio Sky, I'll give you some advice. And that is this. The definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. What have you done? You, Scorpio Sky, not Tony Khan, not AEW, not any of the agents. What have you done to literally change your performance when you walk out through there to give Tony Khan or AEW something, anything that they can now exploit and promote? Because you, Scorpio Sky, 100% have control over you. You don't have control over Tony Khan.
Al, can I tell you something?
You don't have control over AEW. You have control over you. And
Al, can I tell you something
different? Why don't you do something?
Here's where you and I are always going to butt heads.
Okay, great.
I'm going to tell you, here's where you and I are always going to butt heads. And here's why we butt heads. Okay. Here's why we butt heads. Because
I'm right and you're wrong.
No, you're wrong and I'm right. And I'll tell you why. Listen to me. I'll tell you why. Because here's the perspective you're looking at it from. Here's the perspective. And I'm going to tell you what the reality is.
Okay.
The perspective you're looking at it from, and you said it earlier in the show, and you're always all about this.
Here's why. Because I've been on both sides of the fence.
Hold on.
You've been
Listen
on
to
both sides of the fence.
You're wrong. And I'm going to tell you why.
Work in the cult, it doesn't hear. Go ahead.
This is what Al Snow is all about. And I had the same mindset. And Al Snow I'm going to tell you what Al Snow's philosophy and psychology is and why he's wrong.
Okay.
You are all about business, bro. Right. That's how I was. I learned early on in wrestling, bro, these guys aren't your friends. You don't make friends with any of them. They're all working you. They all want something for you. It's all about business, bro. Your job depends on, how many people are watching the show, how many people are buying tickets. It's all about business, period, end of story. Bro, you got to understand. With Tony Khan and Triple H and Shawn Michaels, it ain't all about business, Al. They play favorites. You can clearly see it when you watch the show. You know who Triple H's boys are. You know who Tony Khan's boys are. And if I'm Scorpio Sky sitting at home and I'm not one of Tony Khan's boys, there's not much I can do, Al, because even if I got myself over, he still might not use me because I'm not one of his boys.
Well, now you got someplace, you've got something to hang your hat on when you bitch and complain. Right now, he don't, because Scorpio Sky is not doing anything different than what Scorpio Sky has done his whole career. Make yourself something different. Make it to where they have no excuse. Make it to where, and hey, what is it about these other guys that make Triple H, that make Shawn Michaels, that make Tony Khan appreciate them, that gets them over with? Well, you're a worker, okay? Who's a mark? Everyone is. And the biggest marks are the ones that don't think they are a mark anymore. And they're the easiest ones to work. When do you stop working as a worker? Never. You're always working and you're always on. And you go and you get over with Tony Khan. You get over with
Al, but here's what you're talking about. I understand what you're saying, but here's the work. Here's the work, bro. You gotta kiss his ass. Just like you gotta kiss Triple H's ass and you gotta kiss Shawn's ass. And just like you see it. Guys like LA Knight, guys like Karrion Kross are not going to kiss freaking Triple H's ass, and that's why they're freaking stuck in neutral.
Hold on. LA Knight was given an opportunity, and LA Knight was getting over. I can say, and I don't know because I didn't watch it, okay? And I don't know what they were looking for, so I can't critique what occurred. Maybe he didn't do or didn't give what they needed. And you've been there. That happens. Karrion Kross.
They voiced their opinion, Al. They've voiced their opinion and not fell in line. Well, that's the issue.
And that does happen as well.
Yeah.
It does. But that doesn't change the fact that the one thing that any one of these performers can control, because they can't control everything else, the one thing they can is them. And the minute that they accept that, and the minute they own the responsibility of that, when they walk through the curtain, it is on them. The onus is on them to make themselves not a great wrestler, to make themselves a star. When you stop and you realize your job is to do two things when you're on TV, just two. For them, they're all focused on everything but those two things. That one, the number one thing, your job when you walk through the curtain, no matter what you do, how you act, what you say, what situation you're put in, bottom line, no ifs, ands, or buts. Your job is to do one thing: prevent me from turning the channel. That's it. That's all you're to do. That's your responsibility. The second you walk through that curtain, I don't go, screw this. That's it.
Okay, but Al,
second is use that time to sell your product, which is you. Sell you.
But Al, you're talking about Karrion Kross, and he's done all that. He's done everything he can control. He's obviously not in favor. Al, I'm watching the Raw the other night. There is a scene with Karrion Kross and Sami freaking Zayn. You're looking at this scene. You're looking at what these guys look like. You're looking at their performances. And anybody with a brain in their head is going to tell me Sami Zayn is the money out of the two? Bro, Karrion Kross goes out there every single time, hits a freaking home run, and he's below Sami Zayn on the food chain. Bro, that's nothing. Sami Zayn kisses Triple H's ass, and Karrion Kross doesn't. And there's nothing he could do about that unless pull a Laurinaitis. I'm going to sell out, and I'm going to kiss Triple H's ass like everybody else. Some people can't kiss ass, Al.
I don't think, I think you're judging Karrion Kross a little too soon and seeing where he goes and his trajectory. You know what I mean? I don't think we're quite where he might end up. I think we're really at only the start of all of that. I don't know how long ago it was WrestleMania, but when they kind of really kicked the ball off there with him sitting down at that press conference and kind of shooting type of interview type of thing to kind of make it look like he's rebelling. So, we're really just at the start of that. So wait.
But come on, Al, listen, if he would have done,
you know what I mean?
Al, if he would have done the rebelling thing on your dime, you would have been all over that immediately. That opportunity has come and gone. They did nothing with it.
And they may not know how to do something.
They don't know how. They don't know how.
He's got to then, here's the thing. Here's the kick in the ass. He took that step. He, they, I'm sure it was agreed, they had a conversation, and there was an idea. Okay, great. Well, now how would you act going forward? Because it all comes down to the believability. And if I can believe in you, I'll believe in what you're doing. But now if you give me at this press conference, you know what? I'm burning a bridge. I don't give a shit anymore. But now you walk out and you don't look and act like you're still burning a bridge and going, F you. Well, I can't believe in you anymore. So if I can't believe in you and we've already set down this way, well, now I can't sell it. If I can't sell it, it ain't going to work. Simple as that. It's easy to sit and come out on one night and go, you know what? Screw this. I'm not just burning a bridge. I'm going to blow this bitch up. That's it. I'm done. I got an attitude and I'm not taking it no more. And then next week you're on Raw. Okay. How are you going to act? How are you going to behave? You're going to go out there and seem like you're just another wrestler on the card again? Or are you now going to carry forward that behavior all the way through and act accordingly? No, you're not. Because now you don't believe in what you really did. You don't believe in who you are. You're not at that point. And you know how I know he's not at that point? Because I was at that point. And I literally wrote really asking for my release when they rolled it over on me. And I walked out there and didn't give two shits. And I did what I wanted and acted the way I wanted. Didn't ask for permission. He still is. And it shows when he comes out. When you're you're the guy and you're like, I need to do it this way. And the guy above you goes, okay, let's roll with it. Let's do it. Well, now you've made a choice to sell that guy to me, the audience. I'm the audience that you now no longer care. You're rebelling directly in front of everybody. And you know what? They can go themselves. They don't like it. Too bad. I'm going to do what I want the way I want to do it. And I'm going to get over whether they like it or not. Well, now you got to, that's what I got to get as the audience. And now you've got to go to Triple H. I got to go out there and make it look like I wasn't supposed to go over and I shot on this guy and I did. So that the audience goes, ooh, man. And now, because now you got to understand the gimmick you're selling. And if you ain't going to continue to sell that gimmick, don't go down that road. I agree with you.
What you just said was spot on. I agree with you. What you just said on, I can't argue because you're exactly right. He went back out and read their script,
and that's a lot of the boys,
Yes.
okay, a lot of the talent all think this is now the new way to do it. And they don't realize, oh, hey, wait, because everybody goes, oh, the Brian Pillman thing, the CM Punk thing. Let me tell you something. When Brian Pillman did that, he didn't care. He was willing to go to those links to where I don't give if you fire me, you fire me. You release me, you release me. And I hope you do, because I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be in this situation anymore. These guys, they get frustrated and they have a personal axe to grind. They ain't got the balls to really do it.
Yeah.
They don't. They think they do. They don't. And so now next Monday comes and you're back out there dancing the tune to the organ grinder. Well, now the audience is like, hey, wait a minute. I thought you didn't want to do it this way anymore. I thought you were taking control of your own destiny. I thought, the second, as simple as this, Vince, because nobody looks at these kinds of details. The second that Karrion Kross comes out on a pre-planned entrance with music the day after he did a promo like that, everyone in the audience goes, it's a work.